Jesus starts off with a duplication. He says, truly, truly. Whenever a word is used twice behind each other, it is a literary device used to add emphasis and certainty to that which follows it. Jesus says, truly, truly, and then goes on to add more stress to it by saying, unless. I'm finna tell you something, and unless meaning there's no other way around it. Unless a grain of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it remains alone. But before I get into all of that, let's just stop with the first part of that statement. Jesus shows us something. He says he sees life as a seed. Life is, somebody shout, potential. Jesus describes himself, his person, as a seed. What is a seed? The dictionary defines a seed as anything that can be sown to produce a harvest. A seed is untapped and undeveloped potential. A seed is not what it looks like at the moment when you first see it, but what it can be after it goes through the growth process. A seed is an embryonic plant enclosed in a protective outer covering. A seed is not what's on the outside, but what's hidden underneath the hard exterior. Oftentimes we judge others and ourselves by the hard exteriors. We judge each other by what we see, where we come from, what we look like, what we've been through. But the truth of a matter is, who we are and can become is not predicated by what we look like on the outside. I might be hard on the outside, but that don't mean that's all I am. This shell is not who I am. There is something on the inside of me that is greater than what I look like, what I've been through, what I'm snapped to, whether I'm black as midnight, whether my hair is nappy. It's more to me than my exterior. Amen. That's why Jesus said, if you believe on me, as Scripture says, out of your belly will flow. That's why Paul said, greater is he that is within me than he that is in the world. So like Jesus, each of us must understand that our lives are seed, that we have potential. That's why in verse 26 he says, if anyone serves me, he must follow me, and where I am, there my servants will be also. If anyone serve me, the Father will honor him. If I want to be greater, I must be first willing to be lesser. And I want somebody to grasp that early on today. There is more in you than you think. Amen. There is more to you than your rough hands and your tough upbringing. I know you got on contacts today trying to look pretty with hazel eyes, and you know your eyes not look like that. I know you got a texture about you going natural, everything but my God. But there's more to you than what you don't like about yourself. There's more to you than what GQ or Cosmos says is beautiful or handsome or sexy. The question is, are you willing to go through what it takes to break out of that shell hiding who you really are? Why don't you look at somebody and say, are you comfortable remaining a seed? Come on, look at somebody else, and that neighbor that talked to you, ask your neighbor, say, neighbor, are you comfortable staying in that shell? I know oftentimes we are miserable where we are. We are uncomfortable in the place that we are. But the problem is we are unwilling to abandon what is uncomfortable because we refuse to seek any more discomfort by launching into the unknown. But you can never reach your full potential stay where you are. It is not until you get in an atmosphere that breaks you out of your shell, out of your limits, that takes you out of your small-mindedness. It is not until you're willing to get around some people that will challenge you and just won't tell you how wonderful and how right you are. It is not until you get in an environment that pushes you past where you like to be that you really can become who you are. But the problem is, Pastor Higgins, I like that, I agree with that, that sounds wonderful. But the process is intimidating.
Amen.
Because Jesus said, I can get to greatness, but I don't like what he said is the process. Look at what Jesus said must happen. He said, the seed must fall and die. So I have potential, but I must go through a process. Now, Jesus made this statement at a time that does not make sense. Jesus, you were just sought after by Greeks. You just spoke of your glorification. Now your next line is about falling and dying. How antithetical, how bipolar, how contradictory is that? But Jesus understood or understands something about progress. That it cannot happen without a process. Change does not happen without process. And it is not until I digress, I die to self, that I am able to bring forth or birth into the greatness that is on the inside of me.
Amen.
Jesus said the seed must fall. Now there's something about that word fall in the Greek. It means this, to come under attack. It is not until the seed has experienced some terror. It is not until the seed has come through some ruin. There must be the experience of failure, collapse,